Whoa, it's me finally recording a video after like fucking 6 months of taking off because I just didn't care. I was gonna come in here and be like, oh, blah, 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 busy, busy, busy. I'm gonna be busy. I'm very, very supremely busy this week. And I'm gonna be busy starting in September. But in all reality, I just didn't care about the last two cards. Not enough to stop masturbating. So, you didn't get a video. And technically, I didn't analyze them, so I failed as my job, my future career. Excuse me, I keep fucking burping. But I'm super excited for this card. Cannot wait. I have literally never in my entire life been more excited for anything ever than I am to drive down to Chicago on Saturday and watch Dricus du Plessis defend his middleweight title again over this bum Khamzat Chimeav. But before that, we have a whole lot of fights for me to go over and talk about. It looks like fights are being added right now, or like I don't even know. The card isn't complete, and I'm recording this like minutes before I upload it. So this is Wednesday, August 13th, and the fights are August 16th. So I don't understand how there's like this fight with a to be announced opponent for women, and then there's this fight that also just got added that I don't even know who either of these guys are. Alibi Idiris from Kazakhstan, and then Joseph Morales. That's going to be a flyweight fight. And then after that, I knew I was prepared for all the other fights. But so I guess I can't predict a fight with only one opponent. The only thing I know is that homeboy is 175 pounds and he's 8-1. This guy's name is Rodrigo Senzonato. I don't know. I good luck. I mean, you know what I mean? Congratulations for making it to the UFC, I guess. But starting with the first fight, there's this undefeated Kazakhstan guy. He's 10-0. I'm gonna pick him just based off that. He's from Kazakhstan and he's undefeated. There's been a few of those recently, and by a few of those I mean Shavkat. And He'll probably be pretty good. Moving on to the first fight that I was even slightly aware of before, literally right now, Karine Silva versus Dione Barbosa. As everybody knows, females are, I don't know, it's like they're good still, especially good females, but there's such like a fall off in skill that it's so hard to pick. I don't know, there's still so little like data, I guess. I don't know, it's really weird. I'm gonna pick Karine Silva 100% honestly, just because she's the favorite. That's it. She's the favorite. She has bigger numbers, as you'll see, and she's younger, so why not pick her? Moving on to the first fight where I know people for real, and then for the rest of the card, I know people. That first fight, before leading into this, with that first fight with Karine Silva versus Dione Barbosa was the only fight on this entire card where I didn't at least know one person. For the most part, I know everybody on this whole card. Bryan battle versus, I always forget this guy's first name, Nurssulton Ruziboev. Ruziboev is a Mongoloid, right? Typically, I pick him based off of his Mongoloid tendencies. He jumps between middleweight and welterweight, which means he's a big boy at welterweight. However, I think Bryan battle gets it done. I love saying when I'm biased. I don't know why, but I really, really like being able to come out and say that I'm biased towards this person, and I am biased towards Bryan battle because he came to my hometown, like not even Detroit, but like Wyandotte. Like he came to the literally across the street from my high school. He fought as an amateur, and I went to go see that, and it was awesome. It's still on Facebook. Maybe if I feel like putting the effort together, I'll find the clip of that and then be like, yeah, I was here. But I probably won't do that because I would actually have to go on to the Cage Warrior, not Cage Warriors, Extreme whatever combat Facebook page and find it, and I don't feel like doing that. But with that being said, I think Bryan Battle is going to win off bias, but I also think that Bryan Battle is going to win off skill. So Bryan Battle is not a pussy. He's very much like, he will not get intimidated, and he's going to fight his fight like no matter what. You know what I mean? So I don't think he's really going to care that Ruziboev is so much bigger than him or whatever, you know? And even if even if he loses the first round, I don't think he's really gonna get sidetracked or anything. I think he's gonna not Joaquin Buckley him, but kind of Joaquin Buckley Ruziboev, where like he'll just weather it and then be able to come back and beat him. But yeah, I think Bryan Battle is obviously the cleaner striker, right? And I think that a big thing with that is your ability to stay confident and comfortable with like after the fight already starts. And I think Bryan Battle can do that. I think Bryan Battle will have a game plan. I think he'll be able to execute said game plan over the course of 3 rounds. You know, he might even get a finish. Probably won't get a finish, but he might get a finish. I just see him skill for skill outstriking Ruziboev because Ruziboev is a meathead. You know. Moving on, though, to Edson Barbosa versus Drakkar Klose. This is spicy because Edson Barbosa is the favorite, and Edson Barbosa... Oh, wow, Drakkar Klose is also 40. Jesus, man. Are you serious? That's crazy. That's crazy. Old-ass man. Wow, so Drakkar Klose, never mind. Okay. I might just have to pick Edson Barbosa. I don't know, though, because he just lost to Lerrone Murphy beat... man, this is tough. I don't know. Because Edson Barbosa is the favorite. He's slightly older, but only 2 years older. He's got longer reach. He has the cleaner striking, for sure, you know, but... Yeah, fuck it. I'll pick Edson Barbosa. Why not? I'm pretty sure Drakkar Klose is actually from Michigan, like very close to Detroit or something. But that doesn't really matter to me. I should be more biased towards him, but I'm not. That only matters when we're talking about like Jamal Hill. But yeah, I don't know. Edson Barbosa, I guess, for the win. Kick him in the head, do something cool, and then retire. Just make it interesting. That's cool. I am excited I'll be able to see Edson Barbosa in the flesh. That'll be neat. Moving on, Chase the Goon Hooper versus Alexander Hernandez. You already know. This is a minus 300 favorite. Chase Hooper is going to clown Alex Hernandez. Y'all remember, probably not, but do y'all remember when Alexander Hernandez talked a bunch of trash on Cowboy's name and got pooped on, got like actually spit out? Because that was really funny. Essentially, that's just all that was. That was really foreshadowing to the fact that Alex Hernandez was never going to be that good. And Chase Hooper, on the flip side, is only 25 years old and is very, very coming into himself right now. He has 5 years before he is grown man strong, realistically, and he's already this good. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. He's had a couple of losses, 3 losses, but at this point, he subbed Jordan Levitt. That's a really good win. He subbed Clay Guida, decent. He should have subbed Jim Miller probably too, but he was tired from gooning, so it makes sense. But yeah, he's putting his hands together. His grappling has been amazing forever. The fact, the more comfortable he gets and the more actually masculine he becomes, he's gonna be, because he was a little kid, man. He sucked when he was a little kid. Moving on though, so yeah, I'm picking Chase Hooper. Moving on though, Jessica Andrade versus Loopy Goodinez. This one's interesting because, like, it's so hard to tell how washed Jessica Andrade really is. Like, she has a lot of losses recently. Like, she lost to Erin Blanchfield, lost to Yan Xiaonan, lost to Tatiana Suarez, won twice, then lost to Natalia Silva, and lost to Jasmine Jasudavicius. So she's probably going to lose this one. But a normal Jessica Andrade, I would say, destroys Loopy Goodinez. So it's weird because Loopy Goodinez really isn't that good. So it's like, is she gonna be able to take out even a wash Jessica Andrade? I might have to bias max here and pick Jessica Andrade. Because Loopy is 31 to Jessica's 33. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, Jessica Andrade had 40 fucking fights, so it's a little bit different to Loopy's 18. But, yeah, I don't know. You know what? Yeah, fuck it. I'll pick, I'll pick Jessica Andrade for that one. I'll pick the underdog there. Moving on to, just because, you know, we're talking former champion, used to be really, really, really good, is still pretty crafty. She just subbed... no, that was a while ago at this point. Jesus Christ. Oh, time passes, man. Oh, wow. Man. That's crazy. But still, you know, maybe at some point. Maybe she'll win. She'll get a knockout or whatever. This is probably going to be a striking match. Loopy's like a boxer, you know what I mean? I can see Jessica Andrade having the grappling advantage as well as being able to stay with her on the feet. So it's not completely out of the realm of possibility that Jessica Andrade wins. So I'll pick Jessica Andrade. But moving on, GM3 versus Michal Oleksic, you know? And that is how you pronounce it. I looked it up. He's the minus 225 underdog. GM3 sucks. GM3 is actually, for real, one of the worst fighters ever. Somehow went to war with RDR. I don't know how that worked. GM3 has never lost 3 fights in a row, though, and he's on a 2-fight losing streak. So maybe this is the exact motivation that he needs to... Jesus Christ, what is this guy's record? Maybe this is the exact motivation he needs to actually just be the GOAT. No, probably not. GM3 sucks. This Michael guy is probably gonna win. Plus GM3 is 37 years old. It doesn't typically bode well. You know what I'm saying? Moving on, Bobby Green versus Diego Ferreira. These guys are also both in their Bobby Green is 38, Diego Ferreira is 40. A lot of old people on this card. That's kind of low key crazy. Not gonna lie, but it's fine. I'm still gonna have a whole hell of a lot of fun. I think I'm gonna pick Bobby Green. Honestly, he's a little bit younger than Diego. I know he just got knocked out, but Diego Ferreira isn't the best, to put it bluntly. You know what I mean? Like, he's technically a jiu-jitsu guy. He's got good striking, but Bobby Green is still really fast. So I think he might actually be able to catch him, keep him at slight distance. Because if we look at it realistically, Bobby Green, so he lost to Hoofy, which is probably a pretty good loss. Like, Hoofy's probably going to be pretty good. Lost to Pimblett. Paddy Pimblett just fucking destroyed Michael Chandler. He beat Jim Miller, lost to Jalen Turner, beat Grant Dawson. Grant Dawson's a pretty alright win, you know. I don't think Bobby Green has entirely fallen off quite yet, especially not to the point where he's going to lose to Diego Ferreira. So I think I'm going to pick Bobby Green, probably by knockout. That'll be awesome. I know Wamanek will be very, very happy. He's the only fucking Bobby Green fan still alive, so that'll be cool. Moving on, though, Tim Elliott versus Kai Asakura. Y'all already know. Even if he wasn't a minus 300 favorite, I'm picking the Japanese guy because I like One Piece. So that's pretty much all I have to say. I mean, he did not well against Pantoja. So redeem yourself against this trash and Tim Elliott, and then, stay in the top 5. Pretty please, Kai Asakura. Moving on to Jared Cannonier versus Michael Venom Page. What is this fight? Why is this fight happening? Why is Jared Cannonier fighting Michael Venom Page? Why is Michael Venom Page fighting at middleweight again? What is happening? I don't understand. What is your career plan in the UFC, MVP? Like, what are you doing? Also, Jared Cannonier, when are you retired? Like, why retire? What are you doing? Who are you? What is happening? This is just nonsense. It's going to be entertaining, though. Hopefully MVP clowns Jared Cannonier, does all of his dance moves, and just shits all over him. That's what I'm picking for. MVP win. MVP by finish. MVP, I don't know, hopefully he, insert random anime reference that he pulls out. He Thanos snapped somebody in Bellator. He caught him with a Pokeball. Some awesome cool shit, dude. Humiliate Jared Cannonier into retirement, please. MVP, please. Moving on, Geoff Neal versus Carlos Prates. Finally, this fight's gonna happen. Geoff Neal actually stacks up better against Carlos Prates than a lot of people are figuring. He's kind of getting quite disrespected in this fight. He put the paws on Shavkat. Geoff Neal did. You know what I mean? He did all right against Ian Gary. He did pretty good against Ian Gary. Beat Vicente Luque. Beat Ponzinibbio. You know what I mean? So Geoff Neal's not that bad. However, with that being said, I'm probably going to pick Carlos Prates. But Carlos Prates got, he got Ian Garried. So, but yeah, I'm probably going to pick Carlos Prates. He's cool. He smokes cigarettes. He's going to use his Muay Thai and probably knock out Geoff Neal. The thing is, if Carlos Prates fights someone who isn't afraid to engage with him, they're probably going to get knocked out. Ian Gary is too good at being a pussy and just bouncing around and not allowing himself to get caught up or touched or anything like that, and that's why he was able to beat Carlos Prates. Geoff Neal is going to be confident in his own Muay Thai, his own striking, and he's going to try to exchange with Carlos Prates. I can feel it, and when that happens, Carlos Prates is probably going to get the knockout. So that's what I'm picking. Surprise, surprise, the minus 250 wins. But moving on to the weirdest co-main event, in my opinion, Lerrone Murphy versus Aaron Pico. Aaron Pico's the favorite because we can't stop overhyping these Bellator guys that aren't that good. I'm picking Lerrone Murphy. That's what I'm getting at. I'm picking Lerrone Murphy. Aaron Pico's good-ish. He was fun to. He has fun performances to watch in Bellator. Absolutely. Okay. Does that mean he's a good fighter? No. We've seen that. That's been proved over and over and over and over and over. There's no Bellator sucked. That's why it doesn't exist anymore. Because it sucked. And they were too dumb to hide the fact that they sucked. They did crossover co-promoting events, and they lost. They did Bellator versus Ryzen, Bellator versus PFL, and they kept losing. They sucked. So now the UFC is absorbing all their talent, and they suck. They all suck. They're all so bad. Michael Chandler sucks. Patchy Mix sucks. Pitbull sucks. They all suck. They're all horrible, horrible, trash fighters. Eddie Alvarez back in the day was good, but he knew when to jump ship. He didn't want to die in Bellator. Ben Askren was good. He knew when to jump ship. He didn't want to die for Bellator. But these guys who the only reason they even think of themselves as stars or can think of themselves as stars is because Bellator is so bad that they were able to rise up and become champion. They wouldn't have even been, well, okay, no, I don't want to say they wouldn't have been ranked, but probably not. Like, it would have been a way harder quest for them to have gotten ranked in the UFC, and they definitely wouldn't be champion. They're at best title challengers, maybe. You think Patchy Mix gets up to the title at 135? Ha. You think Michael Chandler even deserved his title shot realistically now? Now that we've actually seen his career pan out, was Dan Hooker really a worthwhile win for the title shot? Does Pitbull make it to a title? Like, these people suck. So yeah, I'm gonna pick Lerrone Murphy, even though I don't really like Lerrone Murphy either. But he's decent. He just beat Josh Emmett. He's beat a lot of people. He's UD'd a lot of people that I didn't think he necessarily would be able to. Dan Ige is a really good win. Josh Emmett's a really good win. So he's probably, he's KO'd 7 people in his career. Lerrone Murphy has. He'll probably KO Aaron Pico. He'll either KO him or UD him. I don't see Aaron Pico winning this fight. I'm going to be 100% realistic. Moving on to the main event of UFC 319, Du Plessis versus Chimeav. I am so fucking excited for this event. I cannot wait to see a real title fight in person. I'm gonna cry thinking about it. That's so awesome. Awesome. So cool. So amazing. This fight is such a question mark. Anything can happen. It's almost not. I wouldn't be surprised if anything happened. But what I think is gonna happen, realistically, I think DDP is gonna win. Okay, I do think DDP is gonna win. I think Khamzat, similarly to the Kamaru and or the Gilbert Burns more specifically, I think Khamzat's going to try to take DDP down, right? I think DDP is going to wrestle with him, transition, scramble, go for subs and whatnot. I think Khamzat is going to get intimidated. I think he's not going to be ready for how strong and actually kind of technical DDP is. Not technical because everybody knows he's a sped, but I don't think he's going to be ready for him to throw up submissions at all, him to be flexible, him to know, him to actually transition. I don't think Khamzat's going to be ready for DDP to wrestle or to grapple with him, and then DDP is going to grapple with him, and I think that's going to put Khamzat in a situation where he wants to strike with DDP, like he struck with Gilbert Burns and Kamaru, and I think DDP is a way, way, way better striker than Kamaru or Gilbert Burns, and I think DDP either finishes Khamzat late or gets the decision. I don't think it's going to be an early finish by anybody. I think it's going to be either a round 4 or round 5 KO, TKO / submission by DDP. I don't. Here's the thing. I throw submission in there, and then it's you just included every finish. I don't think DDP is going to take Khamzat down and then find a choke. That's not what I think is going to happen. I think either in 4 or 5, DDP is going to catch him with a good shot or out-volume him, overwhelm him, something, and then he's going to either KO him, he'll TKO him, or he'll pretty much TKO him and then actually sub him. So it's technically a submission victory, but it got set up by punches. I won't be surprised if Khamzat wins. It's crazy because Khamzat's a minus 255 underdog, but in fights like these, that's pure hype, and so I don't give a shit. Same with the Aaron Pico versus Lerrone Murphy. That's not people who know anything about the sport. That's just name value and hype. So odds don't really mean anything. But I'm going to be happy either way. Watching in person is going to be amazing. It's cool because I'm rooting for DDP. My friend's rooting for Khamzat. Yeah, I'm excited. I can't stress enough how excited I am for this fight. No matter how any fight on this card goes, I can go 0 and whatever, like get every single fight wrong on this card, and I'll still say that this is the best card of the year, probably out of pure bias, because I'm going to be there in person, paying $500 for a nosebleed seat happily. But yeah, I guess that's it. That's all I have to say on this one.